Hi, this is Shadowcoast and welcome to my channel. In this video, we'll be discussing an upcoming turn-based strategy game I'm very excited about, Necromunda Underhive Wars, an upcoming game being developed by Rogue Factor and published by Focus Home Interactive, set to release this summer. Before we jump in to discussing the game, I'm trying to grow my channel and appreciate a subscribe and thumbs up if you find this video helpful. In the description below, you'll find links to the various sources I reviewed before producing this video, as well as timestamps so you can jump to specific chapters of the video. Caveat before jumping in, I'm a major Warhammer Universe fan, specifically 40,000. For context, Necromunda originally was a tabletop war game produced by Games Workshop, which originally debuted in 1995. In the tabletop, the players control rival gangs battling over the Underhive, a place of anarchy and violence below the Hive city. Gangs are usually limited to around 9 models, but players are able to develop their gangs between battles, gaining experience and losing or gaining new members and equipment depending on injuries accrued and credits gained throughout the campaign. Necromunda Underhive Wars appears to take inspiration from the tabletop and build upon it. Necromunda Underhive World is located in Segmentum Solar, is a major producer of munitions for the Imperial Guard. Necromunda's forges primarily produce lasguns, autoguns, shotguns, and bolt guns, among many other weapons. The world is home to the Imperial Guard's Necromundan Spiders, and also one of the worlds the Imperial Fist Space Marine chapter recruits from. It is also home to some of the most vicious gangs, which brings us to Necromunda Underhive Wars. The majority of the game content I pulled from 2 dev blogs posted, which are linked in the below description for reference. In this video, we'll be primarily focused on units, gangs, and general gameplay mechanics. I will be posting another video, so be sure to check that out on game modes and the campaign. So without further ado, let's jump into the game specifics outlined by the devs. To begin, we'll be able to choose from one of the major houses to create our gang. The houses are Escher, Goliath, and Orlok, and each house provides its own flavor of gameplay. A special house perk and bonus stats. Also, many of our fighters will have special variants depending on the house selected, including variants in abilities, I believe. You can have an active crew of up to 5 fighters, which does deviate from the original tabletop norm of 9. The devs explained that while each gang has fewer active fighters compared to the tabletop, any battle can have up to, I believe, 4 gangs fighting for a total of 20 fighters engaged on the battlefield. Each fighter deployed will need to fill a specific battlefield role, which is determined by the unit's chosen career. The options are Deadeye, Brawler, Heavy Saboteur, and Lay Mechanic. Each career will grant a fighter a unique signature skill and special career perks and bonuses to certain stats. While fighters will be able to learn a wide variety of general skills, some abilities will be exclusive to specific career paths, which makes sense. Each gang will be able to recruit up to 15 fighters at once, with 10 members being held in reserve, and you'll be able to freely rotate your fighters between each mission. Each gang will need a gang leader, which can be a fighter of any career who has reached or been recruited at a higher experience level. Leaders will have access to a special selection of heroic and order skills, which are extremely powerful but limited abilities that inspire their allies and can tip the scale of battle. One item I'm very excited about is the ability to customize your loadouts and skills of our fighters. Moving on, stats measure a fighter's attributes and proficiencies and are separated into 2 main categories, primary and secondary. There are 9 primary stats that will be able to upgrade whenever a fighter ranks up. Each of these directly affect 2 of the 18 secondary stats, which are used and modified by skills, equipment, and other factors such as injuries and combat. Skills also come in 2 main categories, which are passive and active. Passive skills automatically trigger when certain conditions are met, and active skills are performed manually, depending on a fighter's level. Each will be able to learn, upgrade, and use a loadout of up to 5 active and 5 passive skills at once. It will be critical to create synergies across these abilities of all our fighters to ensure success on the battlefield. Finally, there is equipment, which includes weapons, armors, consumable items, implants, and bionics. Some weapons include heavy bolters, dual-wielded last pistols, and chainswords, and some equipment and items will be restricted to certain career paths. Strategies will need to be tested, and I plan on posting several videos on my preferred loadouts and combination. That brings us to gameplay. Underhive Wars is a turn-based strategy game, which is why I'm posting this video. Each battle is split into a number of rounds, during which each of the fielded fighters will get their own turn to act. At the beginning of the round, each gang can select one fighter to put into action, and the order will be determined by the initiative stat. Now, the devs did not go into greater detail on this, but it will be interesting to understand if we could use one character over and over again per round, or if we actually have to cycle through all our characters. So that isn't very clear at this point. Now, similar to Mordheim, each fighter will have two components to manage in a turn: action points, or AP, and movement points, or MP. Movement points are only locked in at the end of the turn unless you use a skill, suffer an effect such as triggering or suffer an effect such as triggering a trap. Until that point, we can freely move our fighters in real time before committing to the move. One of the greatest pieces this game appears to have is the attention to verticality. Similar to the tabletop, Underhive Wars appears to leverage a full range of movement, including zip lines, elevators, and other pieces that will make for heart-pounding moments. I can't wait to try to get above an enemy and snipe them, because I do love sniping variants in general across the turn-based strategy games I play. To further capitalize on the use of verticality, the game will include a height advantage which provides a fighter an accuracy bonus when targeting enemies below them. For cover is purportedly dynamic and is based on a percentage of a target's body that is visible to attacks. Apparently, we'll be able to kneel behind crates and conceal ourselves around tall objects, or get to higher planes to make it harder for enemy combatants to hit our units. I'll be interested to see how this plays out. Offensive skills such as aim shot will also allow fighters to aim at specific body parts that will cost more AP than a normal attack. This will be critical as many fighters will have unarmored body parts or specific body parts that are susceptible to specific types of damage, so that will be critical to the strategy, or a winning strategy. The devs also outlined that the game will include toggles to tactical overlays in a 3D strategy view as shown in the screenshot. The overlay appears to be useful, but I will be curious as to how this impacts the gameplay and how it impacts line of sight or how it might take us out of the game. Looking at this screenshot, I'm a little bit underwhelmed compared to the other screenshots I've seen, but I'll be interested to see how this all comes together. That concludes this video, though I'll be posting another one covering all the updates in a second video, including the campaign and also multiplayer game options. As always, I'd appreciate a subscribe if you found this interesting, and I hope to see you in another video. Shadowcoast out.